The defendant was caught in the act. He was caught red-handed. He was caught on video. Every single one of the 10 crimes charged is captured on video. We're going to show you everything. We're going to show you video from the cases that he robbed. You're going to see him point a loaded gun at Jacob Christensen. You'll watch as Jacob triggers the silent alarms and takes the money from the registers, giving it to the defendant. Jacob gives the contents of his own wallet to the defendant. You'll see Jacob go to the kitchen and tell his co-worker Maddie that they're being robbed and to call 911. You'll get to see and hear Maddie make that call. While she's on the phone with dispatch, the defendant is behind the counter, helping himself to cartons of cigarettes and cigars. The defendant orders Jacob and Maddie into the cooler, and he shuts the door behind them. He leaves the store, he goes out to his van, he puts his stolen merchandise inside, and then he gets greedy. He goes back inside the store. He checks to make sure that Maddie and Jacob are still in the cooler, and then he takes more cigarettes. He takes gift cards. He takes headphones. He takes phone chargers. He takes Maddie's purse. He takes more than he can hold. He has to get a garbage bag to use as his own personal goodie bag to carry all of the stolen items. Now, at this point in time, dispatch has 2 silent alarms and Maddie's 911 call. Deputies are responding. The first deputy on scene is Deputy William Halverson. He reaches for the defendant and tells him, "Turn around." You're going to see the defendant pull out a gun, point it at Deputy Halverson, and pull the trigger. Over and over and over. You're going to hear every gunshot. The defendant doesn't stop shooting until his gun is empty. Deputy Halverson falls to the floor. He feels paralyzed. The defendant steps over Deputy Halverson's body to leave, but then he turns around. He rips Deputy Halverson's gun right out of its holster. The defendant leaves Deputy Halverson for dead. But he doesn't make it very far when Deputy Heath Omar spots him. Deputy Omar turns on his lights and sirens, but the defendant doesn't stop. The defendant leads Deputy Omar on a high-speed chase through the streets of Coggon. A chase that is captured on video. You'll see the defendant attempting to elude Deputy Omar, ultimately crashing his van and fleeing on foot. Law enforcement arrests the defendant less than 3/4 of a mile from his van. While the defendant is running from Deputy Omar, Deputy Halverson lies bleeding on the floor of Casey's. He's in agony. He yells for help that doesn't come. He thinks he's going to die. He records a message to his wife on his body mic.
Your Honor, may counsel approach at this time?
You may.
He records a message to his wife on his body cam. The first law enforcement officer to find Deputy Halverson is Deputy Matt Oltman. You're going to watch Deputy Oltman treat Deputy Halverson's injuries. Deputy Halverson's immense pain is obvious in this video.
Paramedics arrive, and he's flown by helicopter to the University of Iowa hospitals and clinics where he undergoes surgery. Deputy Halverson survives after being shot 7 times. This is not going to be a whodunit. The evidence will show you exactly who committed these crimes. At the end of this case, you'll know it was the defendant because his fingerprint is on the magazine of the gun that he used to shoot Deputy Halverson. You will know it was the defendant because the money from the registers is in his pockets. You will know it was the defendant because the proceeds from the robbery are in his van. You will know it was the defendant because items connected to the robbery were found in the field where he was hiding. And you will know it was the defendant because he was caught on video, and 4 different witnesses are going to identify him for you. After you've heard all of the evidence, you'll be convinced beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant was caught in the act, caught red-handed, and caught on video. And you'll return verdicts of guilty of attempted murder of a peace officer, guilty of 2 counts of robbery in the 1st degree, guilty of willful injury causing serious injury, guilty of trafficking stolen weapons, guilty of disarming a peace officer, guilty of felon in possession of a firearm, guilty of attempt to elude, and guilty of 2 counts of false imprisonment.